We're having a little chat.
It's getting
We
rough.
got Cloud9, Vitality. You all know these faces. Where to start? Well, actually, we were just addressing, the whole like the blue and the grey blue. You guys do look a little different. Now, this wasn't to highlight the new players. This is which one of these is the proper jersey that you're going to be donning full time? This one?
I guess it's new style.
Yeah. This is the new style.
Yeah.
Everyone's a little different.
But
Yeah,
what do you like?
they're new and
Which one
they're
do I
like
like
fresh.
more?
Yeah, of course, it's the blue
I
one.
think the blue one because Cloud9
Yeah,
is
like-
blue,
Yeah, the blue one does pop.
not the grey.
I'm sorry, Hobbit.
Everyone.
Thank
on
you.
our team
sorry.
likes it.
No, I think a really cool conversation that I would love to have while I have, in particular, Apex and Electronic here, is what it's like to transition into becoming an IGL, right? Because in similar circumstances, you guys were in this position when you guys got rid of Alex back then. You kind of took it upon yourself, and when Boomich was removed, that was when we saw you step up to becoming an IGL. So, talk to me about what that's like.
I think it's a bit different from my perspective to his perspective because I think when Electronic took the game leader role, he was still like a top 5 player in the world. Me, I wasn't. So for me, that was like the normal way to go in game leader, even though not much people believe in that, but that's another talk to have. But I guess it's the first weeks are really weird because you need to invent, because you need to invent to style what you really want and the way you're gonna work, and that's really weird at the beginning. I remember that I couldn't sleep until 7 every mornings. I was like, my brain was full of fire, so that was pretty weird. But it just was a lot of fun because it was a really new role, and I wanted to prove everyone that I could have done it. So. And I had also, I think, like Electronic, we both had really good helps behind us because he had like a really good coach, and I had as well with Kickstars that helped me a lot. So yeah, that was a good thing to do, and I'm still here, so I feel like it's working well enough.
And Electronic, how did you find it then?
I mean, everything changed for me when I became in-game leader, right? I think for me it was much easier for you than it was for you because I was like under Blade system, we had already prepared strats and everything and system, and so yeah. And previous I played with Zeus, so he had his system also, and now in new team I can build everything, in one. But for me, I mean, it was hard because you have to think about CS, you have to think how it's gonna work, how you say, right? And how team will listen to you, how they listen to you, because sometimes they don't listen to you and you getting mad from this, and yeah, I have to figure it out how I'm gonna work in the future, I mean, I'm very emotional when I play, and when my teammates
I'm noticing
don't
there's some similarities.
don't listen to me, I'm getting mad, always, and I want to be like idealistic, in the game. So yeah, was huge for me. I was stressful back in the days, I was like, after practice, you sitting just in the bed like for 2 or 3 hours because you don't know. It's I don't know, everything on your mind, How good are you? Are you like this? You're gonna be good in the future. Everyone says on internet you're bad. You have to be a player, not in-game leader. There are better in-game leaders like this, it's hard.
So you're getting all of that like external pressure while you're trying to do something that's like...
The problem is that when you're in game leader and your team is not succeeding, it's because of you.
Right, yeah.
Because
And
for
you're
example,
the one that everyone
I had
looks
a major
at.
champion, I had like, ooh, and it's not working. And I had a new, like, really good player Spink, so yeah, the problem is Apex. It's that easy for them. And so you're just thinking a lot about how can you improve and if you are the problem or not and how it goes, and it's a lot of reflections overall. And it's actually not easy because sometimes it can be, of course, it was also my fault in 2022 that we didn't perform, but I don't think it was only mine. It was our team fault. And we saw that with the same team, we won tournaments. So it's not only about me changing. It's just a lot about all the things. And I don't think like people also understand really like the work behind that and all the sacrifice. Because of course I remember watching Electronic first tournament and they destroyed everyone. And they destroyed us in final in Lisbon. But then obviously it dropped down because it's normal, mate. You cannot be like the same player when you're calling. It's not possible. Yeah. And you could see that with Yakinda. Now we can see that with a lot of players because it's a tough role.
Well, so Magic, you obviously actually had that time period as well back in Astralis where you like briefly kind of took over the IGL role. How did you find that back then? And do you think that maybe that's helped in some regard to what you bring to the table here? Because you guys seem like you have like a very good relationship in terms of, and not just you two, I mean like all of Vitality. When we're at events, I always see you guys together, you know, like that you're always laughing and you're discussing Counter-Strike and stuff like that. Do you think that the fact that you've also been exposed to what it takes to IGL a top team has given you like a bit of an edge there?
No, but I definitely think so. I mean, of course, when you try different roles, you learn different needs and you learn different versions of the game. I think there's many different versions of the game, but it also depends on what role you're playing. I mean, a lurker does see the game differently because his role is just to lurk and go from the behind and taking space whenever it's needed. But the IGL sees the game from 5 different point of views. So I think definitely when you see the different needs of the different roles is where you actually learn a lot about the game. And I think, you know, in Astralis, obviously I was playing with some good players, but it was also a chaotic time because we had a lot of roster changes.
There was a lot of weirdness during that time.
It was
period,
definitely
right?
difficult. So I also think it was difficult terms, but I think I managed the best with what I could in that situation. And of course, maybe in the future I will become my in-game leader. But for now, I just enjoy playing, playing my roles. And I think I've never really been like a selfish player. I don't mind sacrificing for the team as long as I can.
Well, hang on, we can get a live opinion on that. Apex, is he a selfish player?
No.
Okay, there we go. There we go. That's very honest.
I mean, the good thing with Magisk is that as he experienced this role before, he knows more what I feel sometimes. And he knows that sometimes if people, as Electronic said, if people don't listen to you, you're frustrated.
Yeah.
It pisses you off because you sacrifice your ass for the team and they don't give you back the trust, or like they don't listen, or they want to do their own thing. So it's really tough, but you need to manage also to not showing up too much emotions at some point and understanding the others. I think it's also part of that myself, I want to hear from what they think about, but I still need to have my identity.
Yeah.
And this is the toughest part to find, because that was the toughest part we had at the beginning, because I remember that they wanted to do more individual moves, but me, I never liked that. Because as in game leader, you don't like individual moves. For you, it's team things. So I always ask, like, can we prepare the move and can we do something? And now we understand each other. He knows my needs and I know his needs. And that's all about that.
Yeah.
What your teammate needs when you play needs when you're in game leader. And when you understand that and you understand each other, everything goes really
it just becomes like fluid. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
And
okay.
I think that's the most important thing in CS. It's not because you're the best tactically or the best. It's just the players to feel comfortable. And if they do, they will hit the shots. So you can call B-rush. The player insane. It's going to work.
Well,
that's all about that.
It's kind of the same if someone is throwing a flashbang for you, and you know, we have that sometimes in the Vitality. I'm flashing for you. And you're like, boom. But there's no flash because you failed the flash. But people have confidence. And they go out and they do a double kill.
Yeah, okay.
So sometimes it's about believing that you have your teammates with you.
It's like a placebo almost.
Yeah.
I
tried
like
that one time where I was like, I'm flashing, boom. And he goes out to do a double flag and he's like, I didn't hit the flash. No, it wasn't there.
Actually, I didn't have flash, mate. I throw an H on your face.
It's not a good thing to do all the time, but sometimes this is about being on the same page and feeling that you can trust everyone. And I think if you get to that point, you will have a lot better team.
Well, so then looking at like the situation you guys are in, because obviously while, you know, and we talk about like the transition to becoming an IGL and whatnot, now there's this situation where Electronic, you come in taking that over within this Cloud9 squad. And obviously there's a difference between adding a player, like what you guys have done with Flames, versus bringing in like new leadership, right? So what's kind of been the thing that you've set out to do here? Does it feel, and does it kind of feel like back when you were in Navi having to do it the first time, where you're coming in and like building your system and building your structure. You know, what's it been like?
I mean, it's very different, totally different, I'll say, because we have to build our system in Cloud9, a new system. We have to find the way how we're gonna work in the future, you know, because we cannot just play Navi strats or Cloud9 strats. Right. So we have to see how we're gonna work. I have to work a lot with Groove, with our analyst, with my teammates, and I don't know. It's totally different.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's like a blank slate, and you're like trying to find these compromises between the styles.
Two different play styles, you know.
Well, so Hobbit, then, how has it been for? Because you know you're very experienced. You have a major title to your name from all them years ago, you know, and you've been in multiple iterations of teams, played under different IGLs. You know, do you kind of bring a bit of like help there, you know, in the server when the game's live?
You know, I was playing like for 5 teams, 5 different IGLs. I was IGL in Winstrike team in Gambit 2018, and I have some experience. I understand that it all depends not only for IGL, it all depends for all of pieces inside the team, except I mean, coach included. I mean, all pieces needs to work on one paper with one vision, and I'm gonna say the chemistry between the players is the most important thing. And of course, we have like very firepower team right now. You know, very noisy shuffle, very I'm gonna say loudly, but still chemistry is the most important thing which we need to work on. And I see Electronic, he has like different vision, and his vision on another level. And we need to understand it, and we understand it, you know, we're enjoying that he has like more experience, huge vision, huge understanding of the game, and he cannot be second IGL because he understands the game on the higher level.
Right, okay.
How the person can be second IGL if he understands the game better than us, for example, and he has more experience. So we're working on it, and we're enjoying. That's the most important thing.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
And,
I mean, is that something that you guys found like in Vitality? Because you guys are going through the challenge of integrating Flames into the squad now, right? So this idea of when someone new joins, you know, it can sometimes be like a breath of fresh air because you're now working again towards like a new goal. But on the flip side, it comes with issues of, you know, you've got to get them comfortable. You've got to figure out how they like to play and how they respond to things and get them on your system. So how's that been, you know, in like contrast to the new IGL going on for you guys? What's it been like bringing Flames into a system?
For us, it's a lot different. First of all, because at the end of the year, I mean, at the end of the first part of the season, we were the best team in the world. So for us, changing a player is a lot different, obviously. We worked for 1 year with the same lineup to get into the system I actually wanted, and Zonic as well. So it was a lot of work for us, and now we need to, even though we would change one player, and we think sometimes it's not that much, but it's a lot. Because we need to integrate the guy we need him to feel really well. And we cannot change just strat like that just to say, Flamesy, you're going to take Dupre's all the time. We need to find what he likes, how he likes your entry. Maybe he doesn't like this flash, maybe he wants this flash, maybe he prefers sneaking, maybe he's running. We need to have that, and it doesn't come in 3 weeks, it doesn't come in 1 month for him to be fully integrated to the team. I know that Zaiwu, Magisk, and Sphinx are really integrated, and I think for me they're playing at probably the highest level right now as individuals. They're all three, Melody's there, but they're all three really performing. But we need this last piece, and if we make it happen, if we make Flamesy playing at his best, I think it's going to be tough for the opponents. Right. Because if you have 4 players that are playing really well, and the good part is the team as well, and that's what is really important to understand when we come to the team, is that no one is above anyone. So it's not because you're Zaiwu that you're gonna, he's gonna have a Kevlar at every piece of runs, that's for sure. but other than that, I mean, for us, for example, if we do a rush on the map or B rush, and he's first, he has to do the first wall.
Yeah.
It's not because he's Zayu.
Yeah.
And that's how we feel. And when we see that as players, Magis sees that, I see that, I'm like, if this guy can also sacrifice for myself.
That's even because we kind of had in the beginning when we came in with Lutzan, I mean, he was playing way too passive, and he is a lurker, and he loves to be passive, but he was
not taking fights.
He's just not taking fights because he was told by us that you need to be the second star, you need to be the player we can rely on with good stats and all that kind of things, and performing on a high level. But that's not how he wanted to play. He wanted to not always, but he likes taking duels. And we had a good talk. We talked about. I was like, I need us to take a bit more duels sometimes for each other. Sometimes it's gonna be me who's gonna be sacrificing. Sometimes it's gonna be Saivu. Sometimes it's gonna be Spinks. And after we had these kind of talks, he started performing so much better.
Obviously, it's gonna be for him. It's gonna be less than me.
Of course,
that's normal. But we still we need him to do that. And I think it's really important. And even though, I mean, your team of 5 and everyone can clutch left and right. Obviously, Zayu will be more able to clutch 1v3 than Magis can.
Yeah, of course.
And me even more. But sometimes you will do it because you just feel comfortable. And I think right now, teams that win is when the players are feeling the best. And that's actually the toughest part to do is that. And I think Electronic will have that because he will have also a lot of star players. He has a lot of star players. He has people that want to do their own things as well. He has a bit said he has his own way to think, yes.
Yeah.
But the other ones, I'm like, but I like to do that as well. I like to do that. And that's really tough. Yeah. Because me too, I have like a strong vision. But I need also to listen to my players, what they like to do. And if I find that, if it's just the right mix between what they like and what I want to do, then they will perform, and then I will win. Yeah. So that's it. I think that's the most important thing is to use your players the maximum. And if you do that and they're performing, then you're championship.
This has been a really insightful conversation. I've loved every second of it, but we are out of time, so we'll go ahead and close this out. But thank you guys so much. Like, I think we did such a good job. Yeah. They're going to make this a weekly thing now. Like that was crazy. This could be a reoccurring podcast. Yeah. But that's all from us. Thank you, Apex. Thank you, Magic. Thank you, Hobbit, and thank you, Electronic. Best of luck to you guys in Cologne, and take care.
Thank you.
Thank you.